that, not having him around, I don't enjoy my time at Gecko State as much. The rest of the crew starts realizing that, like, not having this kid around makes things a little worse. Sure, it's a lot of little things that he did, like,
My Coke is so far away.
My Coke, why is it so far? Oh, there's totally sort of a moment like that, where it's like, he ran the in-store, the ship's, like, store, which was kind of
Okay.
a weird concept, but I think the idea was, it was to keep proper stock on their supplies.
Right.
That's
I
why it
mean,
existed, which
it
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah. Um, it's just kind of weird because it's like you wouldn't have a store on a ship this size with only like 20 people on the ship.
Yeah, you would. I mean, come on.
But
This guy needs a job.
I mean,
We're gonna say you
yeah,
run the store.
you run the store, which means basically keep track of our inventory. Fine. But Renton was the one who they had doing that, and he did a good job of it. So, like, when he's gone, they notice that, man, nobody's keeping track of our inventory. This is problem.
It's just like
And,
I noticed it because as I walk by, no one is standing behind this counter.
yeah.
Someone used to stand behind this counter.
Somebody used to get me my goddamn Coke.
But now I have to walk all the way across the
Dude,
room.
did you see how far I had to walk? It was like 3 whole feet.
This is ridiculous. I quit. He just like jumps out an
No,
airlock.
no, I'm burning the ship to the ground. That is the only answer. There's some
It's like
real
I'm gonna
blood.
kill myself and then everyone else.
Everyone dies for this. Everyone, everywhere. Man, maybe that's why Novak does what he does.
It makes sense.
Novak is the bad guy, and Colin's brother, or Holland's brother, not Colin, Holland. Holland's
Holland.
brother, as we find out later. That's
Yes.
a little bit of spoiler past the halfway point, I think, but it's not like real spoiler. And if you happen to actually pay attention to certain parts, you might have even caught like last names and stuff and made the connection on your own.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to count that as too big of an issue. So yeah, on board the ship, they're kind of realizing that life just isn't quite as good when Renton's not around, for a variety of reasons. Eureka doesn't have the warm fuzzies in her stomach anymore.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say somewhere else.
Well, he also helped take care of the kids a lot, and they're kind of like running around a bunch, and that's an issue. We're going to so have
What the
to
hell?
talk about her kids later, too.
What are these tiny humans?
Yeah, Eureka has kids.
Yeah.
What? How does she have kids? You just said she's like 14. Yeah, she's got 3 kids.
It's okay.
It's
fine.
okay. No.
It's fine. I mean, it's Japan, you know.
No, it's
What?
not that. There is a reason. What? Take
Don't.
science. I need that. No, I'm not going to go into detail.
No, I was gonna say don't do that on the stream.
No, I can do whatever I want. It's my stream. You can't stop me. No one can
No.
stop me. Ha ha ha!
Yeah.
We're going to take that because we haven't built any factories, and that gets us factories faster. We also get another one? Man, this is the best day ever.
No.
What do we want?
Time travel.
When do
When do we want it?
Doesn't
That's
matter.
irrelevant.
Actually, that's not true, because if it's after
Within our
I
lifetimes.
die, I don't get to use it. Exactly. Now
Well,
you're
I
getting
mean,
the idea. Well, I mean, then somebody
technically,
could take the time machine, bring it back to me, but I mean, clearly if I die without seeing time travel, then that means nobody did that for me.
well, in this like timeline, in a different timeline,
We're not doing a multi-stream right now.
in a different timeline.
Panda, we're not multi-streaming right now.
No, it. In a different timeline, you would tell me if someone was hot, but to this day, you would not.
Panda, we're so not doing this right now. That's for the Steins Gate stream. Oh, we will so do a Steins Gate stream at some point in the future. Man, Steins Gate. Ugh. Got there. Got there. All over my
Jesus.
pants.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that's the Gecko State side. Now, Renton, he has left the Gecko State. The way he left was he took his lift board, jumped, and a backpack full of supplies, jumped out of the plane, and parachuted down to a city.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Yeah. He has no real plan. He's just leaving the Gecko State because he cannot stand how they operate and stuff. I forget kind of sort of the exact reasons. Because there was like... there's like some specific thing that takes place that makes him leave. I'm pretty sure he got in an argument with Holland over like killing people and stuff.
Alright.
And Holland was like, well, you can just leave then. Nobody's forcing you to stay here.
It's just like, sir, we're running low on erasers. We can't afford erasers anymore. We need 12 more erasers. We can't. We don't have that in the budget. Well, fine, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving this shit. I need my goddamn erasers, man. I'm gonna probably build another city over here by this mountain. So, Renton leaves the Gecko State and all that.
The Gecko Squad.
He is running around now trying to figure out his life. He, like, ends up in a relatively big city from what we can see from it. And he is just, he's sleeping on benches and stuff. He doesn't have money for food. Things aren't good for him right now. So, one day, he goes to sleep on a bench. Old man comes by while he's asleep, steals his bag, was gonna steal his lift board too, but he ends up having a little bit of a conscience. A whole bunch of conscience there. I won't steal this kid's surfboard. I'll just take everything else he owns.
Yes.
What a great guy. So, he ends up stealing that. And Renton is sleeping on a bench. He wakes up to music. Apparently,
He died.
He died. He died. He's dead now. He's dead, Jim. He's dead now. Apparently there was some kind of event taking place in this park. When he wakes up, there's all these people dancing. They've got some big-ass sound systems set up. Got these two people dancing like crazy idiots. And he ends up getting taken in by the two people who were hosting it. The two people dancing like idiots. Ray and Charles. I love Ray and Charles for a whole...
Ray Charles?
Ray Charles.
Like... I mean...
Can we make a connection here to something? Don't worry about it.
Okay. Sure.
Sure. I don't know. But, yeah, it's this couple who end up taking him in and giving him a place to sleep. They, as we find out, they are like mercenaries because, I mean, they've got their own giant robots and their own flying ship. And yeah, he ends up living with them for a bit. They first take him in and, like, feed him and stuff. And while he's here, they, like, eventually they get to a point where they get close enough that they're like, we'd like to be your mom and dad. We would like you to call us,
Mom and Dad.
Dad.
Sorry.
And he's like, he takes a second at this meal where they present it. And, like, Ray's like, no, Charles, you rush things too fast. And Renton's like, I don't know if I could say that. But what if I call you Mama and Papa? I'm guessing that it translates slightly different in Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that is a scene that just didn't quite come out as they planned in English. But
Yeah.
you get the idea. He goes with
Dude, what actually
yeah.
happened? He was gonna say, but I can't because mom's really hot.
Oh, dude, first scene where he sees Ray when they're in the park and stuff, and this is random kids sitting on the bench. Charles like leans over to him and is like, "She's one hot mama, isn't she?" And Brett just like gives a nod.
Yep. Yep.
That was a pretty fun scene.
10 out of 10 would trap
Would
again.
trap again. Panda, we're not doing your goddamn dojins again.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
next stream.
Sorry.
So, yeah, they end up, he ends up calling them mom and dad. He gets real close to these people. He stays
Especially the
with
mom.
them for a while. It's never entirely clear, but it's assumed at least a couple weeks pass like this.
Mhm.
And basically, Renton has a moment where he has a realization that, like, he still loves Eureka, and he needs to go to her. That she needs him and he needs her. She might only think she needs him because he makes the Nirvash work better, but he has the idea that somehow he will be able to get through to her and make the
Sorry.
baby things happen.
Make all the babies.
Make the sex thing happen.
The sex thing.
That sex thing, though.
That sex thing, though.
Yeah. So, Renton has that moment, and he's talking to Charles about this. Kind of like having the heart-to-heart with Dad. Good old Dad.
Good old dad with the hot mom. What?
Yeah. And Charles basically tells him that this is a choice he has to make. That nobody else can make this choice for him. And in the end, Renton ends up leaving the ship and going back to the Gecko state. More on this later, exactly what happens.
Right.
The reason I bring this scene up, though, is it's one of my all-time, like, for the whole series, one of my favorite scenes is, I guess, episode, I should say, because it isn't, like, one specific scene. It's everything that takes place in this episode. The fact that Charles makes him make this decision for himself, the like, way he, is really having a hard time deciding on this issue, the way that, like, after he leaves, Ray is, like, crying into Charles' chest and just pounding on him. Like, have you ever seen that moment where they'll have somebody crying and they're, like,
Yeah.
weakly hitting
Yeah.
the person? It's that
Yeah.
scene, and it's completely silent. It's really heartbreaking. And later on, we might have already seen it at this point in the anime. You find out that Ray and Charles can't have children. They were actually at the event with Renton's dad, and whatever happened there made Ray infertile. So she can't have children. And that's actually a really good scene, too, because it's a flashback, and you have, what am I trying to do with these workers? Make them build...
That's what she
Legos.
said? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. She was a bit of a tart, wasn't she?
I know, right? No, she is in the hospital room, and she's crying. Because her and Charles were dating, and
Yeah.
she is like, you need to leave me now. I can't be the woman you want. We can't have that family together. Our future is destroyed. And Charles takes her hand and shoves a ring on it. And he's like, we don't need anyone else. You're all the future I need, or something like that.
And then the ring starts vibrating.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a real touching scene. What's this? Let me see. 1 second, everyone. I need to mute myself. Panda, distract them! Hurry!
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, that's well. I guess I could start talking about the Imperium of Man, Warhammer 40k, because people would be a lot more interested in that. Or not. Probably not. Because the Imperial Navy is awesome. Just saying. Let's see. I can't do this. Not while I'm doing my coursework.
I'm back! Don't worry.
Good. Good.
You did a fine job, Panda. They were distracted
Good.
just long enough.
I was gonna start talking about the Imperium of Man in
I
40k.
heard.
So
Amelia got an
that's-
email from Anime Midwest.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, apparently people are pretending to ban people from the con. Keep that
Trolls.
in mind. Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're just doing for a reaction, but then they would
Probably, but who knows? They're being assholes. Heads up to anybody listening to this now or in the future. We'll totally
fuck Konami. Oh, sorry.
Fuck Konami. But we will also be... My agents can go wherever they want. We will also be at Anime Midwest. We will not be there at a booth or something because
We're just gonna be there.
But we'll totally be there, and if somehow we get popular by then, you can totally say hi to us. But you don't know what we look like. Ha, you fools! We've tricked you. Oh no, I've called our audience fools. We're doomed. We'll never be YouTube famous now.
Oh no!
Oh,
Quick,
no.
make a reaction video so we can get sued.
Right? This sounds like a good plan. Everything about this plan, love it.
Yes.
So,
I find this so funny. What's going on with YouTube right now?
oh yeah. Oh man, all kinds of things are really screwed up right now. It
Yeah.
happens.
Because I'm literally just watching their subscriber counter go down.
Whoops.
That's what it's coming on to. Coming on to? Come down to. Coming to.
A theater near you?
Yes. Either way, it sounds weird.
I know. It's one of those things. So yeah. It's a really emotional scene. Especially where Charles is just like, I'm not leaving you because of this. This is just some minor thing. So what if we can't have kids? We still have each other. Man, I love Charles. He's a stand-up guy.
Yeah, and then we can practice having kids every day for the rest of our lives.
Fuck yeah.
Well, every day, aside from like 1 week a month.
Don't worry about that.
Until you're like 60, and then we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, exactly. See, we've got a plan.
Well, I swear, this is the first time menopause has been a topic on any stream ever.
Ever? Wow, we're
breaking ground here. Exactly.
I know where you're going with this. I got you, Panda.
Why do you understand me?
I understand.
I know.
So, but on Renton's side, I really like this because this episode basically is a summary of what the show is trying to do. That is a coming of age series. Because in this episode and couple episodes that were like leading up to it where he's with Ray and Charles, it is it shows that Renton had this moment of choosing whether to be a child or an adult. Because Renton could have stayed with Ray and Charles. And if he did, he would have been allowed to continue to be a child. He would have been able to continue, like, he would have been able to actually go back to school or just grow up as a kid. He wouldn't have had to have the responsibilities of, like, piloting giant robots and such. He could have been a kid again. They would have let him have that.
Yeah.
By going back to the Gecko State, he is choosing to take on the responsibilities that entails. He is choosing to take all the problems that may arise from this and dealing with those, whether he realizes it or not to its fullness. But he knows he's taking on responsibility by doing this. And that's what it is to be an adult. It is taking on responsibilities. And I like that for him, because he looks at the fact of what is in his life and what this entails, and he chooses to basically man the fuck up.
Yeah.
To grow the fuck up. Unlike a certain other character I could name. Shinji!
It's
Actually,
okay.
Shinji is not a bad character. He is totally good for the story that is being told for Evangelion, which is a story of some real mental issues. We're not getting into that here. That is a whole episode on its own. I don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, we'll make time for that in the future. But right now, we are not dealing with him. But that's also a common thing in a lot of anime. For this age, like, for this genre and age group.
Yeah.
They try and basically be a kid while also pretending to be an adult. That they put on, well, they pretend to be an adult by, like, I'm taking a life, so therefore I'm an adult and stuff. Like, just because you kill, and man, this is gonna kind of come out sounding weird, but just because you take a life, that does not make you an adult. Choosing to take a life for a reason can be what makes you an adult. Can be.
Can be.
Yeah.
I can get that.
Because once he chooses to fight for Gecko State for a reason that he has chosen, he now takes on the responsibility of all the actions that he takes. Like, it is very childish to do something because you're told that you have to do something. Well, like, that's why children do things. Why do you go to school as a kid? Because I have to. Why do you have to? Because mom and dad told me I have to.
Yeah.
Why do you go to college later? You have to pay for college. You have to put in extra work for college. So why do you do that? It's not something that you necessarily have fun with. Some people do, and in that case, more power to them. Good for them if they have fun. But for most, this is a chore. This is a challenge. So why do you do it?
Right.
Because I want to. But you just said that isn't something you enjoy, so why do you want to? Because although it is not something I want, like, for this reason, it builds towards the next thing I want. Like,
yes.
Maybe having a job in science, if you're like me.
That reminds me of... You'll see it in a sec.
What?
You'll see it in a sec.
What am I gonna see in a sec? I'm not gonna click a link or anything right now, Panda.
I know. Because you don't have to.
I don't have to?
Yes.
Why don't I have to?
Because you'll see it in a sec.
It's been more than a few secs.
You will see it after sex.
After sex? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Amelia! So yeah, that's why I really... Oh, that's why. That took more than a few seconds. That was my phone. Get paid to become a science apply now.
That's an actual ad!
The science of Al.
Be-
Oh, I am
Get-
totally something that needs to be studied.
I want to become a science.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like they delve into this topic a lot. The idea of choice, that the responsible adult thing is choosing to do something. Later on, this is technically past the halfway point, but if I do this vaguely enough, I don't think it'll be too spoilery.
Very vague. Very.
Don't worry, I got this. I got this.
Okay. Okay.
So, Renton and Eureka are fighting again at some point. Well,
That's not vague
fighting,
enough.
like, they're in the cockpit and they are piloting the Nirvash and they're doing
That's
a
not
thing.
even vague.
This
You have to be more vague than that.
Robots are doing things and people in robots are doing things.
There you go. See, very good.
I hate
Now
this
everyone
sometimes
understands.
so much.
Now
So-
everyone understands.
He has been, they are piloting Nirvash again. They are doing, and they are in combat. Renton and Eureka have both decided, though, that they don't want to kill. And that they will still fight, but they don't want to kill anymore. Now, on surface level, this sounds like a really childish thing. Because man is a really common thing in anime that I'm gonna fight bad guys, but I'm not gonna kill anyone. And that is a really childish response to combat. That you think you can go in to a life and death scenario and come out fine without hurting anyone else. No. Realistically, people are gonna get hurt. People are gonna probably die here. Renton and Eureka, though, are not being childish about this choice. They are going into combat with the full knowledge that they might die to uphold their belief that they shouldn't kill others. But they are still going to fight with this as their, like, philosophy. So in other words, they have picked a cause that they are willing to die for. That's not childish anymore. Because they have chosen this path. And they are willing to die for this if they have to. They don't want to particularly. But I mean, they would much rather kill than to become
More powerful than they've ever imagined.
Yeah. No, to become something they are not. I think that's a fair way of putting it. World religion. No, we're not going to do that. That's a horrible thing for us. That is not our religion. Taoism shall rule the world. The Americans and their Eastern Orthodoxy. Wait, what? What? None of this makes sense. So, yeah, Renton and Eureka have chosen to fight for the cause that they believe in, but they will not kill for this cause. And that's not because they don't believe it is that important, but because they believe that not killing is what defines them. And that is something I can understand. I might not personally believe in that. I find it perfectly acceptable under certain circumstances for murder to be an answer to a problem. Once more, that doesn't sound great.
No.
But I bet I can get probably everybody else on Earth to agree with me at one point. I can totally create a scenario where you'll say murder is the only solution to that.
Totally.
You might not like that I constructed it. It might get really contrived and stuff. I can make it eventually. Because we live in a world that is not perfect and some horrible things happen in it. Sorry. Sometimes killing those things is an answer, and it is sometimes the best answer in an imperfect world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hitler was a thing that needed to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I really like Eureka 7 is and it's not like this is just the journey that Eureka and Renton take, a lot of other people also go through a